right, good morning and welcome to the newspaper review here on Lagoon Radio. My name is Taiwo Adeola Shabiligbe, and of course, it's your Lagoon Radio, your number one online gospel radio station, powered by the Diocese of Lagos Anglican Communion. And of course, you can like and follow us on Facebook at Lagoon Radio Nigeria. On Instagram and Twitter is at LagoonRadio.Ng, and you can also listen via our website on www.LagoonRadio.Ng. With me in the studio is Abel Abi, Solomon Ademowo, Covenant, and of course, Favor on Sachi. And together we'll be reviewing the papers before us this morning. In no particular order, I'll be starting with the Nigerian Tribune. At the very top of that, we have JAMB Council's UTME cut-off marks, institutions to now decide benchmark.
It don't happen. But I kind of think that is even better. It's like you just writing UTME, and you know that's direct. Whatever, it's not that you finish JAMB, you not come and do UTME. You fail one, you have missed you. So I feel like it's better that way. So that if you want to put on your energy to read, you're reading for one thing, and you just get it over with. Like, why? Right?
Because the other thing is just stress. I mean, you pass the JAMB, and of course you managed to pass JAMB. You now went for the UTME, and of course you ended up failing. And you might be lucky to pass. But in this case, I think I'll support this, maybe. But the story is right on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. 20 billion naira salary loan. Court freezes Kogi bank account. The story is on page 29 of the Nigerian Tribune. Akeredolu signs anti-open grazing bill into law. The story is on page 30. CBN directs banks to publish names, BVN of forex defaulters. You can get the story on page 7 of the Nigerian Tribune. Nigeria, want to say something about that?
Well, so what I wanted to say about the CBN and the forex defaulters is the fact that I think that's extreme, because it's not like as if they're saying they won't be forex. They're just saying it's not going to be handled directly by banks in Nigeria. So why don't publish people's names? Because the medium for banks to completely handle what's it called now, forex, it's not completely open to everybody yet, right? So why are you going the extreme when you've not even finalized from your own end how banks are going to be running forex? Who used to give them these ideas?
I wonder who their advisor is. Yes, experts. So they are called. Naira down to 525 naira per dollar, loses 26.1% value in 4 weeks. You can get the story on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune, and boldly written on the front page: compulsory COVID-19 vaccination. Court stops Obaseki. And the writer under that says, federal government considering basic rule of law on Nigerians refusing vaccination. 2.9 million vaccinated. Third wave stabilizing in Africa. WHO. All this you'll find on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. Channel's television interview. Retired Commodore Olamwumi reports self at Defense Intelligence Agency. But the story is right on page 29.
I don't know what, we've come to realize that the whole idea of freedom of speech is not it's not so free anymore, right? So when I saw the interview where this man was alleging a lot of things against the government and the president, I was like, he knows they're going to come for him. So I'm sure he knows. So far, he has also put Channels TV in trouble.
Yeah.
So he knows they will come for him. So I'm wondering why.
So they should expect the visit of the embassy, right?
They already sanctioned them. They'll give them. I don't know if they responded, but they gave them an ultimatum to give reasons why further actions should not be taken against Channels TV. They already did. So yeah.
All right. The story is right on page 29. Gunmen invade hospital in Bayelsa, rob doctors and patients.
Of what exactly? Syringe. What did they rob? What they want? Is it oxygen they want on teeth? Maybe they are gas, COVID. What do they want to rob? Is our blood?
The vaccination. The
blood.
Vaccines.
Bones, skeleton. What do they want to rob?
I still find it amazing.
It's amusing.
Well, the story is right on page 28 of the Nigerian Tribune. Olu of Warri dissolves traditional councils committees.
Wow.
Well, the story is right on page 2.
That's
Work
new.
has begun.
That's wow.
This is real change.
Can you come and be the president of Nigeria? Can you come and dissolve the National Assembly for us?
Instantly. I think these are the kind of leaders
action,
we
that's
need.
what we're talking about.
Not that you've given us days, 1 month ultimatum. Don't worry, within so month, you're gonna do this, from my money, show them money, you know?
You don't tell the
No time.
Alright, the story is right on page 2. End kidnapping terrorism now. Afenifere tells federal government. Still on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune, and the writer under that says Nigeria fast moving to the precipice. Sorry about that. Still on page 2, like I said. Tertiary institutions give priority to IGR at the expense of quality education. Panel report. And the writer under that says, as federal government receives visitation panel report to 55 tertiary institutions. All the story you get on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. And on the front page, you have pictures of students with the First Lady. Okay. It's quite tiny, you know. But you get that, you get the full gist when you get the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. We move to the next paper.
Right here on Daily Independent. Masari orders closure of major roads in Katsina to tackle bad entry. Nigerian attracts 10.1 billion naira foreign investment in 6 months, says the minister. Right here on page 4, Buhari backs Boni as forces asked to quit as chairman. They already revealed themselves one by one. Stakeholders want Tinubu to speak out. You can find that out on page 4.
Speak out. What exactly?
I don't know. Maybe
we are wait.
People are saying he's aspiring to be the next
president of Nigeria.
Yeah, probably.
I know Abigail is in support of that.
Me? It's about of who?
Is it not your people?
Of Tinubu?
Yeah.
I'm indifferent though. Honestly speaking, it's not like as if I don't support him. It's just I feel like I understand Tinubu's politics. I feel like he's not going there for himself. I feel like he's going there to pave way for his God's children. So it's not going to be that, Tinubu is going to become the president. He's going to probably run one term, come out, and then start fixing his people. But then, the thing is, once he has that kind of power, how long is he going to hold on to it? He might not give chance to another person. So that's why I'm skeptical about Tinubu being the president. He's going to monopolize everything. It's going to be like Lagos State, where no other party can ever win Lagos State again. So that's just my fear. But he's a businessman.
Yes, and he knows how to go about the
standard of living will go high, but I think we're going to see some
changes
things,
and improvement.
But things will be costly. And Nigeria is going to become like Paris. It's going to be very costly. If Tinubu become president, you pay for air. That's just it. But you get air, but you pay for it.
Let's just be positive and hope not to pay for those things.
Amen. Maybe they have increased government school money. All right.
That's even outrageous. Right. And don't worry, we'll get to that someday.
Man, moving on. On page 4, Labour kicks ahead plan electricity tariff increase. CBN asks banks to publish names. I think Sharp spoke about that earlier. Port congestion. Reps accuse customs of creating 18 illegal seats.
Say what?
Reps accuse customs of creating 18 illegal seats. Illegal positions.
I thought it was city where they went to go and call. Okay.
Yeah, that's all we have on Daily Independent. You can get all those news on page 4, page 5, page 6, and page 30.
Okay, moving on to the People's Daily newspaper. JAMB cancels you. Did you not read this?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. JAMB cancels UTME cutoff marks, gives varsities an autonomy to decide. That can be found on page 6. Apapa gridlock, MPA boss fingers police over who is to bring up for this culture? Where you're not Insta vlog.
Wait, no, take that again.
Apapa gridlock, MPA boss fingers police over multiple checkpoints to extort motorists.
I don't understand the finger.
That is pointing a finger. You are the one. It's you. If you are thinking of any other kind of finger, you are the one suggesting it to me. The writer under that says it results to 5,000 unclaimed containers. That can be found on page 2 of the People's Daily newspaper. Then, of course, there's the image of all, I don't know, who are these people? I think members of the National Minister of Science, Technology and Modern and Innovation, and a couple of them at the... Okay. So they went to visit the minister at the University of Kano. That happened yesterday. So there's a picture of them. That's what's covering the front page. Then IPPIS, federal government new strategies to sustain flawless payroll. That can be found on page 19. Masari takes new steps to end insecurity. Okay. That can be found on page 5. Governor Akere Dulu signs anti-open grazing law, also on page 15. Institutions give priority to IGR than quality. IGR being, is that internally generated revenue?
I guess it should be.
Okay. Anyway, the federal government panel has come out to say this. That you can actually find that more on page 3. Cardinal local government post. Police deploy over 11,000 personnel. Tori, local government is not even governorship. It's not even presidency. Then how many people is in the local government altogether when they are deploying 11,000 personnel? And I'm sure this includes security forces. Exactly. If care not taking, soldiers are probably in. You can find it on page 2. Update on school children held captive. The federal government's college Birin Yauru. Well, that can be. Okay. Oh, the update is that it has been 77 days already since some of these children have been held in captive. And then those who were kidnapped from Bethel Baptist School, Kaduna, it has been, is this 59 days now? Yeah, it has been 59 days already since the Bethel student. How is it 59 days already?
Is it up to that?
I don't think that's 59, but you can
find out. I don't think it's up to him.
Yeah, it's not quite clear, but you can find out on the People's Daily, and that's all on the People's Daily news.
59 days.
It's 59.
No, I'm just.
He's analyzing it again.
Yes.
All right, moving on to the New Telegraph newspaper. Forex, OPS backs CBN on naming fraudulent customers. And the writer under that says corporates giving 2 weeks to return PTA to banks. You can continue reading the story on page 4. Akere Dolu signs anti-open grazing bill into law. Views to ensure strict compliance. This you can get on page 3. ASU's ultimatum expires to reconvenience NEC meeting. This story is right on page 2 of the New Telegraph. Anambra Guba Buhari receives endorses APC's candidate Andy Uba. This you can find on page 4 of the New Telegraph. $350,000 fraud. Ogun Governor's Aid loses property funds to federal government.
Before Uncle.
You expect that?
Before Uncle. And of all people that is losing it, I wish it was the US that came to seize it.
It would have been more than this.
No, I would have been happier because federal government seizing it. Somebody else is just going to just sit on it.
And that's
it, just like that. So it's not like as if it's coming back to the people because these things were built with our money. So it's not like as if you're taking back these properties and then utilizing it in a way where the citizens benefit from it. No, one person is just going to sit on it.
That's it.
It makes no difference to me.
All right, the story is right on page 6 of the New Telegraph. And at the very front page of it, we have terrorism. U.S. ready to assist federal government identify Boko Haram sponsors. I think we saw this yesterday in the news. Envoy says both government officials have met thrice in 2 months. And right under that says purchase of Tucano fighter jets, good omen. Europe Air Force Chief. All this you can find on page 2 of the New Telegraph. COVID-19, federal government to apply basic laws on Nigerians who reject vaccines. How will you be able to?
When we say basic laws, what are they referring to? Are they saying that what's a basic law? You'll be arrested, you'll be jailed. No. Let's see.
Okay, to announce about cure soon. Insist all intending pilgrims must be fully vaccinated.
Okay, I'm actually very concerned about this English of basic. Let's on that because you know that not all of us are grammar. What are they referring to as basic law? Because okay, for instance, as every citizen, we all have our fundamental human rights.
Yes.
So is the government saying that they are going to force you to? I don't.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm asking. How would you? How can you tell who and who?
No, you
do
no.
not.
If you've been vaccinated, of course. Are they going to be needed
Of
for
course,
my
you know that's it. And at every point, you might want to do something or go to a particular place where it will be required for you to be vaccinated. So, of course, then you have to.
But people should go get vaccinated anyway. I'm going next week actually.
Please take me along.
Alright.
All right, you can get the stories on pages 2 and 8 of the New Telegraph newspaper. And at the very bottom, JAMB cancels UTME cut-off marks. Varsities to set individual benchmarks. And the right under that says prisoners visually impaired, others now exempted from post-UTME.
Say that again. I didn't get that.
Prisoners visually impaired, others now exempted from post-UTME.
Okay, so they get direct entry. That's fair.
Okay, so the story is right on
including
page
prisoners.
3.
Are they disabled?
You didn't read.
I can get the ones that are impaired.
Visually impaired.
But prisoners, what happened? They cannot study.
At least for taking the JAMB alone, I think that's enough for them.
Yeah, you're indulging them.
What else do you want?
Don't indulge them.
Okay, well, the story is right on page 3 of of the New Telegraph newspaper, and at the very very bottom.
Go to prison. You don't want to cut off a jam now. I'm gonna commit one crime. Just
please, I like you. I like you more than you think you like yourself. Well, study links salt substitute to reduce stroke risk. This is health issues, and you might be interested in it. It's right on page 8 of the New Telegraph newspaper. Solomon.
Right here on this day newspaper, Buhari unveils job creation initiative to employ 20,000 graduates
annually. Start again.
Buhari is trying.
My brother, please move on before we check for you in the studio here this morning.
Says policy constituency responsible for 5% jump in economic growth in Q2. Dangote, only a third of NNPC investments in refinery will be paid in cash. Says it has capacity to meet Nigerian entire petrol, diesel, jet fuel needs. Project will save countries costs. Forex says Emefiele.
Okay.
Kale, how we transform NBS in 10 years. Sanwo-Olu meets Buhari for what? You can find it. Yeah, you can find it on this day newspaper.
Deliberate on the
matters arising, and so on and so forth. That's all I have on this day newspaper.
Okay, I'm moving on to the Nigerian Tribune. Okay, so
I took that already.
Moving on to Nigerian News Direct. Okay, there still has a story of IPPIS, the federal government to implement new ideas and strategies to sustain flawless payroll. CNN, others bank to publish names of FX defaulters. Does that sound like we've taken that?
Yes, I think it's in all all newspapers.
Let me just move to the leadership newspaper since they have something new. Okay. Not going back on open grazing ban. Southern governors declare, and the writer under that says Governor Akeredolu signs bill into law to beat deadline. Akwa Ibom, Enugu, Imo, Osun, Oyo yet to pass the bill. Delta Rivers, Ogun to deal with violators. No more headsmen in Ebonyi, says Commissioner. Casina bans interstate movement of headers. Niger closed cattle market. All of this can be found on page 4. Let me tell you guys. So on Monday, when I was coming to work, right, on 3rd Mainland Bridge, normal morning traffic. So I see this very dirty bus. Like, you can tell that bus has been on the road for days. And I look into it, and there were so many people packed in. These guys, based on, these people were from the north. They were all packed in. That's a regular The number bus is about 12 seaters, right? Or 16 seaters. Yes. These guys, and I'm like, from where to where? Where are they taking?
They're like they'll be like ×2 of the number of people meant to be in the bus.
Because before we know now, you wake up and you find that the rate of insecurity in Lagos State is so high. And anyways, I'm just saying, people need to be careful. Anyway, CBN directs banks to publish names of forex defaulters that can be found on page 4. Federal government begs ASU to shelve strike. Please don't strike. They are begging you guys. PNB to Uba go and win a Anambra poll for APC. That's President Buhari endorsing Andy Uba. And Borno probes shooting practice in hotel by NGO. That is on page 11 of the Leadership newspaper. I have not resigned as PDP chairman. Secondus saying NFA inducts $500 million A29 Super Takano. You can find out more about that on the Leadership newspaper. And then the UTME story, Jam cancels uniform cut-off mark. All of this on our Leadership.
All right, let's quickly look at the blueprint, and that will be all for today because I've got quite a few news stories here. But banditry, Masari Oke's containment order bans interstate cattle sale. And the right under that says shots Jibia, Karanki, Madai Duwa, other roads. Restrict operations of commercial motorcyclists, Keke Napep. Akeredolu signs anti-grazing, anti-open grazing law. Mieti Allah begs Enugu Assembly of Consultation. Afenifere raises the alarm over influx of foreigners. And vaccination court stops Obaseki from barring people from public places. The story is right on page 5. 2023, PDP has not zoned presidential ticket to North. Party chief. This story is right on page 7. Cholera claims 43 in Borno. 559 suspected cases recorded. All these you can find on page 13. Court jails 10 internet fraudsters in Abuja. Page 9 of the Blueprint newspaper. Development Bank disburses 400 billion naira to over 150,000 SMEs. Page 23 of the Blueprint newspaper. Electricity proposed tariff hike insensitive, ill-timed. Action Acid. Page 22 of the Blueprint. And of course, NAS malls direct primaries for parties. The story is right there on the front page, and you can continue reading on page 6 of the Blueprint newspaper. And that will be all on the newspaper review here on Lagoon Radio. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. It's been an amazing time, and I'm sure you get to have a glance of all these papers when you get them. Well, don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook at Lagoon Radio Nigeria, on Instagram at LagoonRadio.Ng, and of course you can tell your family and friends to listen via our website on www.LagoonRadio.Ng, and of course still on YouTube we're at LagoonTV. You can just go there, have a recap of what we've talked about this morning, and do well to follow and subscribe to our page. My name is Taiwo Adiola Shabilik, and I want to say a very big thank you to Abigail, Solomon, and of course Favor and Covenant. Thank you very much, guys. Good morning once again, and stay connected to Lagoon Radio. Coming right after now is a moment of truth by the Venerable Erin Adelegon at 10 a.m. Do not go nowhere.